quilting friend, it's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber, and I got 2 packs of this Crazy Quilt Paper this Christmas, and I thought that I would work on a project with it and we would learn all about this. I'd never heard of this stuff before. I've now been playing with it and it is pretty fun. A quick heads up though, I'm going to show you how the instructions say to use it, and then I'm going to show you some variances that I've done that I think work just even a little bit better. All right, let's get started. So this is Crazy Quilt Paper by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. And I have all the different tools that I'm gonna need here as we work on this. I'm gonna pull it out here. And it is printed paper cut to 5 inches square. And it is not just regular paper, it is freezer paper. So it has a waxy back, which is perfect for fusing temporarily onto fabric and then peeling away. So I'm just going to grab 3 sheets because we're going to do 3 pieces here. And I grabbed 3 pieces of fabric. Now, when you're working with freezer paper, if you have a really hot iron like this Aliso, you actually want to turn it down. You don't want it on its highest setting because I find that the freezer paper sometimes can buckle a little bit. It might have to do with like the moisture in the air or the moisture in the paper. Now, I don't have 5-inch squares. I have 10-inch squares that I cut down into quarters into 5 inches, and it's pretty close. It doesn't need to be exactly perfect. So we're just going to fuse that on, and this is going to make us a crazy quilt. It's designed to be used with like a charm pack, which would be 42 5-inch squares. I don't have 5-inch squares. I have 10-inch squares, so I cut mine down into 5-inch squares to use. You could also use scraps and just fuse these onto scraps and then cut the scraps to the 5 inches, or pre-cut your scraps to 5 inches and fuse these on. And if you don't get them exactly perfectly right, that's okay. It is pretty forgiving. So just fuse these on. All right, now we need to give them a cut, and there's a cut first and a cut second line. So we're going to grab just a little bit of a longer ruler. This is, I think, a 3 by 12.5. And we'll cut the cut first, and then we'll cut the cut second. And we're just gonna make 3 little piles here of the number 1s, the number 2s, and the number 3s. So we'll do this again. And the reason I did 3 is because you want to shuffle these up so you don't have 2 of the same fabric. You want 3 different fabrics on your finished piece. So now the instructions don't tell you when to take the paper off. It almost implies that you leave the paper on indefinitely, but you don't want to. You want to take it off here. You don't want this paper in your finished quilt. So we're just going to take this off. And because this has now been cut, you can't reuse it. It's one and done. And if you can get these back to the shape that they were, great. And you want to maybe double check. There's instructions on the back that tell you how to use it, and it shows the layout. So you want to follow that layout when you put them back together. I almost got this wrong because like this or like this, they almost look a little similar, but it's like this. So we've fused these to the back. We have cut them on the lines. We've peeled off our paper, which we're now going to throw away because these are one and done. Trying to line these back up on 5-inch squares would be nonsense. You don't want to do that. And now we get to sew. And you want to sew a piece 1 and a piece, or I guess this is a piece 2 and a piece 3 together, and make sure that they're not the same. So I'm going to do a light green and a dark green. You can flip this right side up if it makes more sense to you. Bring it over to the machine. Now to line this up, you can take this point and just put it like a 1/16 of an inch away from that edge. You don't want the points to line up. You want the edge to be a little bit lined up. But because of the seam allowance, you want that point, about a 1/16 of an inch up from the edge. And now we want to press these. And it doesn't give any pressing instructions, so you can just press towards the dark or press open, press in one direction, whichever direction feels like the right direction for you. And the goal with that sewing was that this edge here line up. And I've got some long threads, so we'll clip those out of the way. There we go. We want this edge to be more or less lined up, which it is. Okay, so now I want to add on the third piece, and I'm double checking here so that I have 3 different fabrics in each block, which I do. Now for lining up these pieces, we're going to take this point right here, and we're just going to have it touch right up there. And we're going to have a bunch extra down here. Don't worry about that. If you want to bring it down a little further so it doesn't quite touch that top, that's fine. But we're trying to get the most out of this fabric. So the closest you want this top piece is to have it just touching the top edge. And now we'll sew these together. All right, these are sewn and clipped apart. Again, there's no pressing instructions, but you want to press towards the one that doesn't have any seams on it. And that's going to spread the bulk of those seams. And now it's time for us to square them up. Now the instructions say to square them up to 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches is going to be this small, which means I'd be cutting away that much all the way around. This is where I'm not going to go with what the instructions say, because I'm going to cut these to 4. I found that with the sewing instructions that I showed you where to line things up, I have plenty to trim these up to 4 inches. And that gives me a whole 1/2 inch per unit. And it doesn't sound like a lot. I know it's a 1/2 inch, but a 1/2 inch stacks up a lot when you're doing a bunch of these. So instead of trimming off that fabric and throwing it away, I'm taking that extra 1/2 inch and keeping the fabric for myself. So instead of trimming these up at 3.5 inches and having them finish at 3, I'm squaring them up to 4 inches and having them finish at 3.5. So they'll be 3.5 inch blocks when they're in the quilt, which is kind of a weird size, but no one's going to be putting a ruler up against the quilt and going, oh, this is what size this quilt is. Oh, this is the measurements for this quilt. No, nobody cares. Also, I'm not caring about where I'm lining this up. I'm just making sure that there is some extra fabric around all sides of the 4 inch mark and cutting away, because this is a scrappy quilt. It's a crazy quilt. It doesn't need to be perfect. The only thing that it does help when you're cutting this is this seam right here. This is the 1/4 inch right here. So if you can have this more than a 1/4 inch away and not right at that 1/4 inch mark, it can help, because then you have less bulk in your seam. But it's not the end of the world if it is there. Anyway, so here are the blocks at 4 inches, and you can see you can get some really fun, crazy designs from this. All right, so what do a bunch of these look like together? I'm so glad you asked. So here are the blocks laid out. They're not sewn together. So you have to remember that 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 2.5 inches. So it'll be 2.5 inch smaller, which is about like that much smaller, and about 3 inches shorter on this side, which is almost the full block here, because these are 4 inch squares right now. So we'll be a little bit smaller. If you added a couple borders, this could be a cute baby quilt. If you made more and then added borders, it would be an even nicer, like more generous size baby quilt. You could also lay these out to be a table runner. So that's another option if you wanted to make a table runner out of these. And you can see that you get like a lot of color movement scrappiness by just having the blocks in all different directions. Now I promised you some ways that I would do this a little bit different. The first one I already showed you, which was squaring them up to a 4 inch block rather than a 3.5 inch. So 4 inch squared up, 3.5 inch when it's finished in the quilt, instead of 3.5 inch, 3 inch finished in the quilt, which would make this significantly smaller. Also, I would use these in a little bit different way so that I can get more out of each piece. And let me show you how I'm going to do that. So this, by the way, was all the waste fabric, or all the trimmings from squaring up all those blocks that I showed you behind me. And it would have been significantly more had I trimmed them up to 3.5. Now, I don't consider this wasted fabric, because this had a purpose. It was there for me as I sewed, and then I trimmed it away when it was no longer needed. So I don't consider this a waste of fabric. This was the way the fabric was supposed to be used. This is normal in quilting to have scraps that we square up. Let me show you how I would use these. I would take one square and fuse my paper to it. Again, I'm using a little bit of a lower heat setting to try to prevent any crinkling or wrinkling. Although you can see by how much it's squared up that there is a little bit of forgiveness in here. So if you're not perfect, you don't have to stress too much. And then I would take like 4 or 5 of these squares at a time, like whatever your comfort level is. And again, we saw how these squared up, so we know that there is a little bit of room for forgiveness. Now I'm going to take this one that has the paper fused, and I make sure that all of these are right side down, because if you have some right side up and some right side down, you will be unhappy because it won't work. They're designed to be all omnidirectional, which is in one direction. So now I'm going to cut a bunch at one time, and this is going to save me the time of having to fuse on every single square. And it's going to save me the time of having to cut each square individually. And it's going to save me the time of having to tear all of those individual papers off. Plus, I get a bunch out of one set of papers. So now, just like that, I mean, how long did it take me the first time to get all my little stacks? And now I'm just having to cut once, tear off one set. And how many do I have here? I have 6. So I have twice as many as that first time. And it took me so much less time. And I get so much more use out of those papers. So instead of doing a single charm pack with 1 pack of these papers, I could easily do 4 to 6 charm packs with 1 pack of papers and get a lot more out of it and make a bigger quilt using just the 1 pack of papers. And I also have so much less paper than I'm tossing because this is not reusable. Now I can take all my pieces and figure out how they go back together, just like that. And now on this stack, I'll just flip under 1. And this stack, I'll flip under 2 because they're in the same order. Actually, I'm going to do 3 because 2 of them are the same fabric. There we go. And now I can sew these 2 together, press, sew that one on, and they'll already be all mixed up. But as you can see, I can make a lot more, a lot faster because I'm not fusing as many times, I'm not cutting as many times, and my stacks are all ready to go to sew. So that makes life a lot easier, and I'll be able to make it much faster. Making all of these blocks took me about 3 hours from start to finish, which is, I mean, it's a decent amount of time for something that's not huge. And doing it this way is going to cut that, I bet, at least in half. There still will be all the sewing time, and there still will be all of the squaring up time. That is legit and will stay, but I'll be able to get through them a lot faster, and I'll be able to make a lot more using much fewer of these papers instead of using a whole pack. This was a whole pack of papers, and I'll be able to make so many more, not even using a full pack. So there you go. That's the Crazy Quilt Paper and how you use it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And friends, I will see you right here real soon. Bye for now.